The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Kia ora, I'm Alex Casey, senior writer at The Spin-off. We wouldn't exist without the ongoing support of our generous members. If you're able to, you can make a donation at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
When the Lessons End is a major new investigative feature on The Spin-off, covering the relationship between a high school clarinetist and her 50-something music teacher. Reported over more than a year by senior writer Alex Casey, it details how private music lessons became events which would scar a young woman's life, and how police and music tutoring bodies compounded her experiences by proving unwilling to intervene. Read it now on thespinoff.co.nz.
The Real Pod is brought to you by our good friends at Nando's. They've got restaurants across Aotearoa, and if you order through the Nando's app, you can collect Perry Perks points to redeem for delicious rewards. Hit nandos.co.nz to learn more and start earning.
Okay.
We should do one of those jetpack things.
Oh, no.
Next summer.
Okay. I'm going to do a jet ski with Joelle.
Jetpack summer. Hot girl jetpack summer.
Concentrate. Hello. Kia ora. Welcome.
That was what you needed the big concentrate for?
Yes. Concentrate. We have a podcast to record, Alex Casey. Welcome along to it. This is The Real Pod. It's your reality TV recap podcast generally, but we're doing, very reality TV adjacent, not only in drama, and the fact that it's in real life, but also that the subject of today's very special podcast is a reality TV star of sorts.
A host?
A host.
A weatherman?
A broadcaster.
A tillerman?
I don't think he's a tillerman.
I don't know what a tillerman is.
That someone on a boat? Is it?
What's that, shanty?
Yeah, that's boat-based.
Soon may the weatherman.
No, that's the wellerman.
Wellerman.
Anyway...
Mike Puru.
We have a story to tell. It's an old story, and we'll be telling you more about that soon. And in fact, Mike will be joining us in the studio.
It's exciting.
Quite soon.
This is like the old days. Nature is healing. We've got celebrities coming into the studio. Jane has filled the studio with a rich aroma of lamb. I will say for the people at home that don't have smell-o-vision.
Sorry for any of those amongst us who don't eat animals. I do.
Yeah.
And,
proudly and aggressively.
Yeah. And loudly, maybe? I don't
in
know.
an enclosed room.
I'm sorry. I was so hungry. And I should know, we should learn from experience, someone else's experience, that being hungry and eating doesn't always serve you well. Okay, so my name's Jane Yee. I'm joined by Alex Casey. We're going to be starting the real recap of Dancing with the Stars next week. So we had this sort of little dead week, if you like, to fill. And there was only one way we were going to fill it.
Yeah, you were determined about this. I mean, there were other ways.
There were other ways, but not while I was here behind the controls, you know? Like, this is what was going down. I listened to an old episode of The Real Pod. I do that from time to time.
Why did you do that?
Because I wonder if we're funny, and I think some distance from recent episodes, it makes it sound funnier. I'm like,
right.
That's kind of funny. We were on top of our game January 2019.
I mean, we didn't know what was to come in the world, and we sound so hopeful.
So young and happy.
We sound really young and happy.
Yeah. But that was then, and this is now. But we still have unanswered questions about one particular Real Pod story that has plagued my mind for the years since January 2019. And I'm talking about Mike Puru's bad chicken. Now, if you have been with us on this journey for some time, you may have heard us reference the bad chicken, but essentially Mike Puru ate some bad chicken and bad things happened to him, and it was a News Hub story. Actually, it was a dote on the radio. He told an anecdote, and News Hub turned it into a story. And a glorious sort of circle of events. He's now doing the weather for News Hub.
It's amazing.
So it's all
playing the long game. But I think it's also important to point out, like, that's what news was back then in 2019.
I mean, especially
there was so little going on.
New Year's news, you know?
Yeah.
Quiet days.
Yeah.
Interns in the newsroom.
I feel like it's important that we say it was a McChicken. It wasn't just any old chicken.
No.
It wasn't, because I feel like bad chicken, I don't know, makes me think of like someone eating a chicken breast and what's E. coli sort of thing. This was a reheated McChicken from a backpack. I understand it. He had stored it in a backpack all day. I mean, are we going to rehash it? Are we going to roll the tapes?
I mean,
What's our plan?
I think we should. Look, a better podcast would have planned this rather than just gone, let's get Mike in and talk about the chicken. But you're not listening to a better podcast. I'm sorry for your sins. So here we are with a very unplanned account of everything.
Jane was like, I'm going to write a script. Do you think you've got time to like look over a script over Easter? I was like, yeah, Jane, I'll go. Totally. I'll go out of my way. You did.
I started writing a script. And
the
in
thought
fact,
was there.
Look, this is what this podcast could have been. Roll the tape.
Something very terrible happened to me on New Year's Day.
1st of January 2019. It would have been a typical New Year's Day. The streets of Auckland wearing the effects of the night before. Beer cans and cigarette butts peppering the gutters. Cardboard masquerade masks lying torn and limp on the footpath. A Smirnoff ice bottle probably clanging against a drain grate. The city would have been mostly quiet as the revellers slept. There was no doubt a smattering of early birds, though, eager to make the most of the first morning of 2019, cycling along the waterfront. We do know this for sure. On Quay Street, a line of cars snaked out from the McDonald's drive-thru. Most of the occupants probably hadn't made it home from their big night and were grabbing some greasy treats to cut through the effects of a few too many. But in one of those cars, near the back of the queue, sat broadcaster Mike Puru. He was eager for a bacon and egg McMuffin and hash brown. With the advent of Uber Eats, the car park was also clogged with drivers ready to ferry meals to comfort the sore heads of central Auckland. The congestion meant a half-hour wait, and that was about 25 minutes too long for Mike, who gave up and headed away from the Golden Arches, unsatisfied and blissfully ignorant to how that abandoned McDonald's visit would impact the rest of his life. This is a spin-off podcast investigation into Mike Puru's bad chicken.
I think you should say bad McChicken. Sorry, not to give you live notes.
Okay. No, like this is all happening live. So, okay. This is a spin-off podcast investigation into Mike Puru's bad McChicken. Better?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy with that. What do you think?
We can't sully all chicken.
No.
We simply cannot.
There's just something funny about like the Mike and the Mick, you know?
Mike McChicken.
Mike McChicken. Yeah. Mike McRoberts.
Hey, Orange Ruffy. Live and breathe.
Jane, that was brilliant. I think almost we should pause this and go into funding. I don't know what you're doing. This could be a 10-parter.
Well, we can just use this as proof of concept and then hit up Spotify. And then they'll buy all of the spin-off just to get that one pot. That's how they operate. They'll buy the whole spin-off for $6 billion just so they can get access to the Mike Puru Bad McChicken pod.
Will we have to boycott because of Joe Rogan? Or are we already on Spotify?
We're already on Spotify.
The real pod takes a stand.
And obviously we are partial to lots of lovely chicken. There's lots of lovely chicken out there. And I don't even want to say that all... Look, to be fair, it's not really, as you'll find out, it's not really McDonald's fault even.
No. This is user error.
This is the user error of the highest order. So from my understanding, before we get him in to answer the many, many questions that we still have, Mike Puru went to get a bacon and egg McMuffin, a hash brown, maybe a drink, maybe it was a combo, I'm not sure, he didn't say.
Probably would have if he was getting...
We'll try and find out.
You might as well, same price.
Yeah.
Probably.
And skipped the queue, didn't skip the queue, quit the queue, tailed
Gapped it.
It was like too long to wait.
Must have been, oh my gosh, so many questions. Must have been a quick decision because he couldn't have gapped if there were people piling up behind him unless he caused a real scene.
Unless he wasn't even in the drive-through bit yet.
Could have been walking through the drive-through. You do get that sometimes. Newies chaos.
I mean, to be fair, I don't actually even know if he was driving. That whole intro may be bullshit because he talked in his anecdote about Uber drivers being prioritised, and they would have been in the restaurant, wouldn't they?
So he was a walk-up?
Might have been a walk-up. Might have been
I mean, where does he live?
Who does that these days?
Where did he come from?
I don't know.
Because I've seen him in Ponsonby. At which point you'd think maybe the Great North Road McDonald's would be your better bet.
One thing we don't know is whether or not he was still out from the night before or if he had, in fact, gone to bed at a perfectly reasonable hour and got up early to have breakfast. Again, we'll find all this out.
This is so exciting.
What happened was he saw a friend later that day and he was complaining about his long wait for the muffin that never was. And she said, I've got a burger for you. And she handed him a McChicken burger.
But it wasn't like she had a spare. It wasn't like she had bought it with Mike in mind. She had a spare burger.
Well, we don't actually know.
Right.
This is the problem, Alex, is when we first got hold of this story, we created our own version of events. If you listen back to that old podcast, and I recommend you do, 10th of January 2019 or something, scroll. I think you'll find we took some liberties with our assessment of the situation, which is why it's so important for us to talk to the man, the myth, the Mike.
Well, what's strange? Okay, if he had asked the friend, buy me McDonald's, and why not the original order? Why the McChicken? That's
because
what I mean.
later in the day,
random.
it's not breakfast time anymore.
All day breakfast, surely.
Yeah, I know, but he might have,
2019.
it felt like that. Anyway, look, it sounds like she had a burger on her person for some reason, and she gave it to Mike, who thought that'd be great for later. He even said in his dote, I'm not sure if she bought it at 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. He had no idea what this chicken had been through to this point. He didn't just gratefully accept it and say that'd be great for later and then go, hell no, and chuck it in the bin. He actually genuinely thought that'd be great for later.
And so he put it in his backpack.
Put it in his backpack.
And then went to do some work on the cafe, I believe.
And then went
in a hot studio.
And then went, oh, hungry.
A bit later, he got home and I think he went, oh, yay. I recall him saying, chicken burger.
Chicken burger.
Popped it in the microwave.
To kill the bugs. Now,
blasted it. I know you've got your own.
You can't. It's not my own theory. It's like the FDA, the world over scientists. It's the truth. It's not a theory about
okay, sorry,
bacteria.
Yeah.
It's just
you've
true.
done the research.
Done the research.
Yeah. That you cannot zap.
You
at
can't.
that
Look,
point.
the reason why there's this like danger zone for food, especially meat products, soft cheeses, so on, that you can't have them out at this particular temperature for more than 4 hours. And that's not just out on your bench for 4 hours. I'm talking about like when it's getting loaded into the truck, you know, when it's getting, any time that it's outside of this safe temperature, it all adds up. And for the total, you can't have it in that danger zone for more than 4 hours. Because what happens is the bacteria multiplies to such a number that you cannot heat it away. Okay? So
you
up to
nailed
that
it.
point,
You cannot heat it away.
up to that point, you can zap the shit out of it and you might kill the ones that are there. But they multiply at such a rate that you get to 4 hours and it's like best not to take the risk. So
But what if it's already cooked?
so many, it doesn't matter.
Oh, God.
It does not matter. This is my point.
And mayo is tense as well, isn't it? Does mayo have problems? Because egg...
Yeah, but
It's all the same family.
So, look,
It's interesting, actually. Egg on chicken. Something to think about.
as an option, as an eating option.
As a concept, it's sort of like, it's the full life cycle. If you have mayo on chicken.
My God.
Yeah. How often do you read about that?
No, you don't. Would a chicken eat scrambled eggs?
Hell yeah. I fed a chicken bone to a hedgehog on Saturday night.
That's not the same species.
No, but it's still weird.
Sure is.
When is Mike just going to walk in? Are we just going
know.
to keep rolling like a proper true crime podcast and have him come in and like get mic'd, as it were?
I guess so. He's probably going to walk in.
I'm worried about the
spin-off
smell in
office.
this room.
Do you think it might re-traumatise him? Oh, God. Is he going to just walk into the offices and I forgot to tell anyone, look out for Mike Puru and send him to the studio?
Does he know? It's quite hard to get in here. What if he gets confused and goes to the towel shop?
Have you had a text?
No.
Oh.
Should,
Have you been texting?
I just thought that he might call T.I. here and say, I'm lost.
I've been keeping an eye out. Shall we? Do we need to go to a commercial break?
No, we still haven't finished the story of what happened.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I mean, I think you can guess. He reheated the chicken burger in the microwave under the false assumption, presumably, that were there any bugs, that he can zap them. Can't heat that away. He got sick. And where did he get sick? Both ends. Very sick. 4 kgs lost over the course.
That's incredible.
Of, I
That's
think,
proper
a few
sick,
days.
isn't it?
Yeah. And he said, again in his dote, quote the dote, I didn't think I could ever eat chicken again. And then he followed that up quickly by saying, and then I did the weather tonight and I ate some chicken beforehand. And I felt terrible. So I don't think I can eat chicken again. So, I mean, he really, we got to put it to him. Where was his head at in that moment where he was like, I'm going to have some more chicken after my bad chicken, even though I'm never eating chicken again?
Well, where was his head at the whole time, to be fair?
Has he eaten chicken again? That's what I want to know. Has he eaten chicken since then?
Has he invested in a properly insulated backpack if he's going to be carrying around all kinds of meats?
It wouldn't have helped him unless he had ice packs in there.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have ice packs on.
Is he still in touch with the friend? Does he hold her accountable
Do we know
for
it's
any
a
of
her?
this? Yeah, I think we know it's a her. I think that much we know.
Just fact checking,
We will be checking all the facts really soon as our very special guest, Mike Puru of the Bad McChicken, joins us here in the Real Pod studio. You don't want to miss this.
Without Nando's, there would be no Real Pod.
There'd also be no cheesy garlic pita.
Basically, Nando's changed all of our lives.
Now, we all know that times are tough for hospo, and sadly, Nando's have had to temporarily shut down some of their restaurants. So make sure you check the website to see which stores are still open before you visit.
However, if you prefer to eat at home, like I do because I'm lazy, Nando's Delivery has got you covered and there's a nice little bonus on the side.
You can order a scrumptious meal directly from the Nando's app on your telephone or the website on your computer and earn Peri Perks points.
Once you're on the Nando's train, you are definitely not going to want to get off, and you can use your points towards future orders.
You don't get Peri Perks through other delivery services, so great hack.
If you're a fan of The Real Pod, show our besties at Nando's some love. Visit nandos.co.nz or download the app today.
At Z, we're all about moving with the times. And now it's time to be part of the climate change solution and move on from fossil fuels. As a New Zealand company providing fuel to people all over the country, we also know we have a real opportunity to lead that change. We're committed to keeping Aotearoa moving by providing the right energy for everyone. We believe that innovation in fuel and how it's used can make a huge difference to our planet. Find out more at z.co.nz.
Welcome back to this very special spin-off investigation into Mike Puru's Bad McChicken. I'm Jane, you'll remember from before.
Yep.
Also Alex Casey.
Hello.
She's still here. Tia, we didn't introduce him before. He's doing all the audio.
Kia ora.
But most importantly, and thankfully, still alive after what must have felt like a near-death experience. Mr. Mike Puru,
Kia ora.
welcome to the studio.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's very exciting to be here.
Thank you for fronting up. A lot of people, too scared to come on the Real Pod and talk about the big issues.
Well, this is the thing. I've listened to the Real Pod over the years, and
bless you.
geez, the information you get from it, priceless.
Actually, probably quite good for your radio prep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Let
you're
us
right.
do the research for you because that's what we do. We let you guys do the research for us.
Well, no, what I like about you two is that you just ask the questions that people are probably thinking. They've heard a yarn, they've heard some stories, and you're like, oh, I've still got some questions. And you kind of do that all the time, which is why I'm a little bit nervous. Is this why I am here?
Mike, this has been on my mind for years, and I don't know why it's taken so long for me to just go, why don't I just email Mike and get him in and get these questions answered? I think I've just been lazy for a few years, but here we are.
And I'm easy to contact, honestly. I don't have an agent or anything. Go direct to me. I get excited if there's an email from a non-spam.
I want to know what this email that Jane sent you said.
Well, the email referred to the Great Chicken Incident. And as soon as I read that, I burst out laughing because I thought, oh no, is this yarn still alive?
Nowhere else but here.
No, but this is the good thing because it was a very strange moment and I actually have flashbacks about it. when I'm at TV3, when I'm doing news, when I'm doing the weather, and there's one particular bathroom that I go into, and I have these flashbacks, and I'm like, oh, remember that day? So I'm pleased that, we can address some of the questions you may have.
Amazing. We need to get a Mike Puru memorial plaque above that toilet.
There needs to, I mean, it's probably the tamest thing that's gone on in the toilet, but over the years.
This is the Jane, Alex and Mike show.
Amazing. The madhouse is here.
I have the email in front of me if you want to hear it.
Okay.
Hello, Mike! Exclamation mark. Hope you're doing good, Eho, and that you've survived the last 2 crazy years in one piece. Have to have that line in, don't you? You've spoken to someone for a while. I'm writing with a really weird request for the Real Pod. We want to do an episode next week that focuses largely / entirely on your bad New Year's chicken experience. It's not something you want to relive, I'm sure, but we still have so many questions. And then I went into, time and so on. And they said, please tell me up for it. And he said, yeah, sweet as. Especially for you two.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, the title, the subject line, that in capital letters, chicken burger.
Oh, that's what it was.
Amazing.
That's what it was. It grabbed me straight away.
That chicken burger. And what time did this email arrive, and how quickly did you respond?
I sent it at 3:48 p.m. and I got a response same day, 7:36 p.m.
Nice. Night email. We like that, Mike.
Yeah. It led us all to this point, and we've already talked about the news story that was picked up by News Hub after you talked about it on the radio.
Yes, because I was doing a bit of talk back, and it was around New Year's, there wasn't much going on, so I had to fill some time waiting for a caller. And I talked about what had happened, because that's what they say at broadcasting school.
Right.
Just draw on your life experiences. So I thought, that was a life experience. So I started talking about it. Lo and behold, it ended up on a website and then became news.
So you didn't feed this to News Hub. Someone was listening?
Someone was listening. Obviously a quiet day in the newsroom too.
Yeah, we already had a theory that perhaps the interns were on the news desk that day, and it was a quiet time of year, you know?
So that's sort of how it broke. I never fed it to them, but that made me realise all of a sudden that sometimes you say things on the radio and it can, be heard by journalists and turned into a story.
Shit.
And then we always check the odd news,
but that doesn't bode well for us.
Oh, no one listens to this.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter.
Yes, they do.
Doesn't matter.
Heaps do.
I want to know how much time had passed since the incident to when you were on air.
I think it was only about 3 or 4 days, in all honesty.
Wow.
It's it's a blurry time. I'm pretty sure it was pretty, soon after the incident had happened.
I
Still
don't
fresh.
feel that is soon. I feel that that's quite a long period of food poisoning. I feel that, bouts of food poisoning I've had usually over and done with 24, 48 hours. But if you're still visiting the work bathroom on shift 4 days later, that's some serious food poisoning.
Well, that's where I learned about what can happen to you psychologically when you eat chicken after you have, had an incident. Because every time I ate chicken, I don't know whether it was my mind telling me that I was going to be sick, but I felt sick. So I had to every time, and I love chicken, so every time I'd eaten it, I'd have to visit the bathroom just in case. Because that was the one thing that I remember the most, was writhing on the floor. About 15 minutes before I had to go and present the weather. And I was writhing on the floor at TV3. I was ready to call an ambulance. That's how sick I was. And I thought, I can't do anything about it because I've got to go on and do the weather. There's no one else that could just do it. So I was spewing, and I had things coming out the other end, and I was taking my suit on and off, and I had the sweats.
Oh, the sweats.
And honestly, it was just horrible. And then I had to go to makeup quickly and get my makeup redone because I was sweating so much, and I'm sure I would have smelt of spew as well. Sorry if you're listening. This isn't good, is it? But I think psychologically it left a lot of damage. So every time I ate chicken, I had to visit the bathroom, which maybe is what springed that conversation. Maybe I was like, maybe I should tell people about this. It was like a PSA announcement.
It's awareness.
Yeah, look, to be fair, Mike, we do feel really sorry for what you went through, but also you have to accept some responsibility for what happened.
Well, I will accept some responsibility because this is the legit story, okay?
Wow.
Okay, so first of all, a disclaimer. I don't know where the McDonald's chicken burger came into it. Has that ruined everything?
Yes! It was not a McChicken?
No.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
I think it was from one of the burger chains. It was either a Burger Fuel or a Burger Wisconsin or...
Oh.
But honestly, nothing wrong with those burger places at all because it is entirely my fault.
Use the error.
What happened was my
Hang
friend...
on.
Yeah.
Hang on. The reason why we thought it was McDonald's is because the beginning of the anecdote started with you at a McDonald's wanting to get a bacon egg muffin and hash
Yes.
brown.
No.
But you didn't get that. So we just assumed.
No, and this is what happened with the reporter as well, because what happened was I went to my friend's place and paid her a quick visit to say, because she just lived down the road from McDonald's. And I went, I can't go to McDonald's anymore. I think it was either really busy. I think everyone was queuing up for Macca's that day.
You were blaming Uber Eats is what you were blaming.
Yeah, there was yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you've got a good memory. No, because I think Uber Eats had just started and everybody was doing Uber Eats.
It's on the internet forever, Mike.
And then I thought, well, bugger this. So I went to my friend's house and she said, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing. I'm really annoyed because I wanted to get a chicken burger. And she went, I've got a chicken burger. I ordered it a day ago, I think on New Year's Eve. She got it. And I thought, sweet. So she gave it to me. So anyway, I put it in my bag. I think I rocked around for probably 2 days or a day.
No, Mike Puru.
What? This is huge. I thought it was later that day.
No, honestly, it was like a day or 2 days even later.
And you've already said that she bought it a day ago.
Yes. But because
God.
How have you lived this long?
Well, this is the thing. This is why I was writhing on the floor, I think. So anyway, after I think 24 hours or even 48 hours had passed, I remembered that I had this chicken burger in my bag. And for some unknown reason, I thought if I just microwave the hell out of it, it'll be fine. I'll kill all the bacteria. It still smelled good. So I put it in the microwave. I was hungry and I ate it. And then I paid the price. So yes, I do have to take responsibility. And I'd like to apologise to McDonald's for that reference and that story that started
News Hub
this.
need to issue a correction.
They do,
really.
and because they've made us look like idiots.
We look like damn fools. I made you correct it and
You
say
did.
McChicken before.
In case we'd be foul.
Because I wanted
someone
to be
else's
accurate.
reputation.
Fair and accurate reporting.
No, and this is why I had to leave it when it sort of surfaced, because I thought, okay, this story will die down. No one will ever check it again. It's fine. And here we are all these years later.
Thank bloody goodness we are too, right? Because someone has to set the record straight. And who would have thought it would be the real? Only we would have done
Well,
it.
see, the real. The real is in the real there. Yeah.
Not the news hub, the real pod.
But I think they'd just taken the context of I'd gone to McDonald's, it was busy, got a chicken burger, put two and two together before you knew it was a McChicken.
Yeah.
So, and then I thought after it had appeared, I thought, I don't want to go back and correct that. I'll just
Really
let
matter.
it fly.
It'll be fine. No one will ever look at it again. I want to know about this friend who's got burgers just falling about their house. What spares? What's going on?
No, just a rich older white lady.
Say no more.
Can't move for burgers.
orders Uber Eats after, a few glasses of champagne, and then thinks, I'll put that aside because I've got some walking to do tomorrow. And then she left it in the fridge, and she obviously just thought that I would do with it because I was hanging out for a chicken burger.
So not her fault either, because it was refrigerated.
No, not her fault. Entirely mine. I left it in my bag.
What did you do that day? So you have the backpack. Are you going to the cafe at this point? What were you doing in your...
No, I think I was double shifting. I think I was doing talkback during the day, and I think I was doing weather at night.
See, this is what happens when you're overworked, right? You can't think straight. You make silly decisions.
Well, no, it's the silly laws that we have around Christmas and New Year's, even Easter just been, where shops aren't open, so I blame the laws.
Okay, look, here's the thing, Mike, and I won't talk you through this on Mike because I've already explained to the listeners and to Alex and CI here about the danger zone with bacteria and food. I'll talk to you about it afterwards, though. It's safe to say 2 days in a backpack, there's no amount of heating is going to fix what's lurking within.
Well, and it's been a very good lesson for me to learn. I constantly always double check the time frame and how meat is stored. It was a very big learning curve for me, and I've never made that mistake again. However, I still freak out when I eat chicken. Okay,
well, that was one of our big questions is do you still eat chicken? Because at the time you said, I don't know if I can ever eat chicken again.
But I don't. If it's been in the fridge for longer than a day or two, that's it. I won't.
Yeah.
I won't touch it. But I still love chicken to this day, and I'm chicken everything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think around the time that we did this podcast, we said we'd send you a Nando's voucher. Did we ever do that?
I don't think they never made it.
No,
I don't
okay,
think it
we'll
ever
try
made
that again. We'll try that again a few years.
Well, yeah.
Give
Give it 3 years.
circa
3 years.
2025. Perhaps you get
The
a
next
Nando's voucher.
anniversary, April 19th, 2020. What year is it now?
2022, so 2022.
It's been a few years, hasn't it? It's been quite a few years. No, but that's good that I've managed to clear up that small detail, and I do apologise to McDonald's for pulling them into this story that continues to live on, but I hope that people have learnt the lessons of meat.
Amazing.
Things you never thought you'd learn about Mike Puru.
I know, there's so much. This is
many
like,
things.
you should write a book.
You need to write a book.
It could be all about chicken.
There's got to be a
we've got enough.
whole chapter about not eating with the crew or the cast on Bachelor as well.
Oh, yes.
Just be your life and meals. Just do that.
Mike's meals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mike's minute.
It's already
Meals.
taken.
Yeah. Just workshopping stuff here. I want to know, that weather broadcast, did you watch it after it went out? Like, do you ever look back and go, God, how did I look real sick?
Yes, I did watch it, and I did look awful.
Did you?
But, just
Like
as awful
clammy?
Yeah, clammy and a little bit breathless, I think. The delivery was very breathless. I think I was at that point where I just wanted to get it out, because you could imagine what it's like standing there on live TV thinking, oh, don't fart. And
I can imagine. I know that feeling. I
and
can
get through
relate.
the next 3 minutes, because that would have been a story that lived on longer than the chicken burger.
I think especially because there's like a whole genre of comedy videos online that is specifically weather people, weather people having gaffes on air. You're rolling the dice.
You really are.
It was a risky 4 minutes of broadcast, but I pulled it off.
And do you have you've got an auto cue when you do the weather? Like,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. And actually, I experienced a green screen recently, because Tony Marsh back in the day, remember Tony Marsh? She used to do the whole weather ad-lib style. So she just knew it, and she had a green screen. She couldn't see anything. She just ad-libbed it. I write it, and it takes me about 2 hours to write that 4-minute broadcast. And New South were going through a studio development recently, and I had to go and do it at a green screen. And I thought, my God, I don't know how those people did it back then. Because if I lose my place in the auto queue, I just look at the video wall and just, it's all there.
Tell
It's
you
all
what
there.
else is crazy that they used to do in the old days that we don't do anymore. It's like store their chicken in a cold store outside of the house, no refrigerators, living their life on the edge. Copyright JJ Feeney, like forever, Yeah.
I honestly thought, though, that if you microwave the hell out of something, you'd kill all the bacteria.
Okay, I think if nothing else, then the people listening to this, if anyone is still listening to this, they've learned a lesson here, right? It doesn't matter how much you heat something once it's got that amount of bacteria in, it's just too damn late.
Danger
It's
zone.
not worth the risk. 4 kilograms lighter, though, maybe it is worth the risk. I don't know, like if that's your goal. You lost weight.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, heaps. It's because I just couldn't stomach anything for a while.
Couldn't keep anything down. Water?
Yeah, I could do water, but that was it. But geez, it took a long time to get back into chicken. Like I had those little nibbles over the couple of days after
Yeah,
the
well, I was
incident.
going to say, you say a long time, but literally within days you were back on the chook.
Well, just tiny bits, but then I was like, oh, this doesn't agree with me, and I was really paranoid that I was going to be off chicken for the rest of my life.
Oh my God.
But you're back on.
Back on.
I got very ill from a vegetarian burger once.
See, it's not just...
How?
I have no idea.
No, you can get
From an unnamed Ponsonby Road bar.
bugs on lettuce, you can get salad bars, everything. No one's safe. You just have to do the Mike Puru water diet. No, don't do that. That's terrible health advice. Ignore me. I also want to know why you went into work when you were sick.
Because I just sometimes you just got to. I don't know. I've just been like that my whole life.
I just really put your body on the line.
Nowadays, it's a little bit more. You've got to be a little bit more cautious if you're sick. You just keep your mouth shut now. No, don't tell anyone you're sick. No. I
Again, not good health advice.
You are not the new Director General of Health.
No,
Just
because
to
you know,
clear that up.
in broadcasting, sometimes if you're away and someone fills in, then all of a sudden, changes can happen. So I didn't want to.
Oh, you didn't want to get ousted.
I didn't want to get ousted.
Is it that brutal that you could take a day and be replaced?
Well, I can give you some examples, but I'm not going to, of people that went away because they were sick and came back to work for a very short period of time before they found their contracts had ended. Or you go away and you host other TV shows and then you come back and before you know it, somebody else has got your job. So, I'm just, I never let my guard down now.
I love it. You're like, I'm here even if I'm like farting like crazy. I'm real sick.
We have no idea what he's got right now, by the way.
True, you
no
could have anything.
idea. You could have anything and
We've
you'd have been
both
like...
done rat tests this morning.
Yes, actually, I did a rap this morning as
Okay,
well.
good.
Yeah,
Okay, we're all clear.
Tell you who's not here, Duncan Grieve. Maybe he's out of a job.
True. Honestly, he should be worried.
He should be
really
worried.
This has got a great feeling about
It's such a vibe.
And you could do with it like another job, right? You've
Surely.
only got about 3 at the moment.
Well, time is running out, so I've got to get as many as you can.
And I tell you what, we get Nando's every Wednesday. So yum, chicken.
Oh, yum. I do love chicken.
Because you've got flavour in the morning, weather at night,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So you've got time in the
Time
middle.
in the
of the day.
middle?
Yeah. Time in the middle.
Time in the middle. I'm only eating the Nando's though if you look after it for me. Don't leave me in charge of
Okay,
it.
I would never. I am the food police when it comes to food safety.
Okay.
1 second past its best before date and it's in the bin.
There's some Nando's in the fridge from last week.
Thank you.
Still in there.
Get
I saw it this
out.
morning and I saw it and I was like, ooh.
Yeah, how good's your microwave?
Hang on. You've got a backpack here, I hear. I think what
could
you've done
recreate it.
is you have stopped, I hear, in this session, you've stopped him from putting that Nando's in his backpack for the next 3 days
Yeah.
and then deciding to heat it and having it on Friday for dinner.
But you never know when he's going to get desperate.
Time will tell.
Do we have any more questions, Alex?
I'm just racking my brain.
I'm actually honestly just so blown
There's
away
so much
that it wasn't a McChicken. And
you can't remember if it was. So it was sort of the high end. It was the Burger Field, the Wisconsin.
Yes, it was a high-end burger. Yeah, it was good.
It's still a chain, but a
Yeah.
higher
ended
price
up
point,
low
not a
end.
drive-through
Ended up low end
establishment.
though, didn't it?
Ended up low end.
Yeah. As low as it can go. I also learnt mind-blowing fact today that thing was in your bag for 2 days.
2 days, yeah. You can imagine my surprise when I was hungry and opened the backpack and went, oh, that's right,
Yeah, I
there's a
can
chicken
imagine it.
burger there. Yum.
Yeah.
Just what I felt like.
Do you have a pantry with food in it? Because like you're a big shot broadcaster, right? Like, surely you can just buy some other food.
Well, no, because that was the problem. Nothing. Uber Eats was making the place that I wanted to go busy, and it was that time of year where shops weren't open.
I'm
So-
sorry. The food establishments are open. I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
The supermarkets.
I don't
are
mean to grill you. I don't mean to poke holes in your story.
I might have been on a budget that day. I can't remember.
Also, the other thing is that this actually. So you got sick on New Year's Day. So the burger. So the burger situation was from. You were carrying it around.
Between Christmas and New Year.
Right.
Yeah.
So that whole thing that I did, that narrative piece that I did about it being New Year's Day and
Completely
bottles
incorrect.
clinging, it's completely incorrect, factually incorrect.
We put so much production into it
I
as
know.
well.
Oh, wow. So much work and time. But that's News Hub's fault. So again,
Yes.
come
Yeah.
to us for your news. We go to the source. We don't just hear something. We do hear
Yeah.
things and just retell them.
Only
Most
3
of
and a
the
bit
time.
years later, we'll follow it up for
We
you.
will.
You know, we'll get there eventually.
Did you hear the Titanic sunk? We need to look into that.
When did that happen?
This is amazing. So, have you had any run-ins with food poisoning since? Have you been?
No.
Been all good?
No, but I did go and buy a new fridge recently, only because I put some chicken.
Oh my god.
No, I put some chicken in the bottom part of the fridge, and when I took it out, I smelt it because I'm chicken conscious now. Yeah. And I thought, doesn't smell quite right, and I didn't want to risk it, hence, the incident. And then I worked out that my fridge wasn't cooling properly, so it was freezing up the top and not circulating air down the bottom. So I went and bought a new fridge.
That is
Wow.
wise and also quite intense thing to do.
What's 'cause
to
I-
get the fridge man into.
I know, but I was back on weather over the COVID era, and I didn't want to not turn up. So.
New fridge, new house. Just replace the whole thing. You just can't take any chances. Amazing.
Oh,
But no, so apart from that, no more major food poisoning incidences, but let's just say I'm a lot more cautious nowadays. Hence the reason I go and buy a new fridge. Honestly, no one ever wants that to happen to them. It is not. It's not. I came off my bike once, ended up in hospital and didn't know what I was doing there. I've had my appendix out after a night out, which is always awkward when you're drunk. I'm like, no, it's not because I'm drunk, it's because I'm sore. And all those things paled into comparison to the great chicken burger incident. So, and I'll never, ever forget writhing on that floor. Like, honestly, I was so close to calling an ambulance. I thought I was going to die. Well, that brought the tone down a bit.
I shouldn't be alive.
I shouldn't be alive. Mike Puru.
Writhing on the floor.
This could be like a That's Life cover.
Yeah, it really could.
Amazing. What a story.
Just quickly back to fridge things. I just want to see if you remember. Long time ago, my mum went to a garage sale at your house and bought a mini Coke fridge.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I do remember.
Do you remember that? It was before Trade Me, when she used to do the garage sale rounds every weekend. And she'd go around and she'd pick up bits and pieces, most of which is still in her house.
I was going to say, she's still got it?
I don't think she does.
Right.
I don't think she does. But she thought you were lovely. I don't know how, you got into a conversation and realised that there was a connection, being me. And I don't know how that happened, but grateful that it did, because then I was able to tell this anecdote
About
on the Real Pod many years later.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And
also, it was probably Tat, wasn't it? Probably Tat from radio promo stuff.
oh yeah, no, definitely would have been. But geez, how desperate was I to have a garage sale? My goodness.
They were different times.
Oh, true. No
Did she take the
marketplace.
fridge home? She bought the fridge. She bought the fridge.
Bought it. Yeah. It was just like enough for like a can or two. It
No,
like
that was the
mini.
problem. It was just, impractical.
Yeah,
Really.
you could
tell
actually
you
the
what,
perfect size for a chicken burger. So it actually all goes back to Jane's mum. If she had never bought that fridge,
And
you
do you know
kept
what?
it.
That's what they say to me in therapy as well.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Mike, thank you so much. I feel like we answered everything. We got all our answers.
No more questions left.
Still doesn't make any sense. I mean, in terms of the decisions that you made that day, that fateful day.
Yes, well, that's why I'm just the weather presenter and not a journalist. I don't make clever decisions.
Hey, weather presenting is an extremely important job, by the way.
Well, it's important, but I'm only just relaying other people's information.
Don't stop it. You're too humble.
I'm not making it up.
You're not making it happen.
No.
Bloody seems like it sometimes.
If people do yell that to you in the street, oh, what'd you do to the weather today, mate? I'm like, it's not me. I just read it. No, you're right. Some bad decision making. Paid the price. But I think we can take it right back to your mum buying the little Coke fridge.
I think you probably can.
It's
Sorry about that.
amazing. This is like cereal.
It is.
It's all
It's the big payoff. You didn't get the payoff at the end of cereal, but you got the payoff here, right?
amazing.
The fridge
Incredible.
did it.
We should do this again.
Okay.
I'd love to be on this again.
Okay, can you just do something to that sort of magnitude? And we'll see you in about 6 years.
Amazing. Do you
And
have any?
I'll still be waiting for Menando's voucher.
When you get that Nando's, you eat it right away. Okay, eat it,
yeah.
eat it hot.
I'll eat it
Yeah.
in the shop.
No fridge. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mike.
No worries,
Really
thank you.
appreciate it.
What a joy.
Sorry to derail the initial setup there. I was thinking about it driving here. Do I come clean about the McChicken versus the
Really glad
burger?
you did.
Honourable. You did the honourable
You did the
thing.
right thing.
But this is the place to do it.
It
The
is.
truth will out, as they say
Yeah.
in journalism.
And think of the cell that we can write for this. Like, blows it wide open,
The
with real-
truth about Mike Puru's McChicken.
Well, no, and last time, I was holding things in and I came clean, came out of the closet, then, life changed. So let's hope it was a life-changing podcast today.
I can only imagine it will be just as life-changing. Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you. From the Spin-Off Podcast Network, you've been listening to The Real Pod, with very special thanks to Nando's. It was hosted by me, Jane Yee, along with Alex Casey and, most of the time, Duncan Grieve. Te Aihe Butler made it all sound good, and Rachel LaRue got us out to the world. Make sure you visit nandos.co.nz for some delicious kai.
Just quickly, if you enjoyed this podcast and value what we do at The Spinoff, please consider joining the Spinoff members. All our mahi is made possible by our members, and we wouldn't be here today without their support. Tautoko mai and head to thespinoff.co.nz/members to sign up.
Do you find it hard staying optimistic with all the financial news in the media? I'm Bernard Hickey, and on my podcast, When the Facts Change, I'm here to help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of economics in Aotearoa. So join the conversation every Friday on When the Facts Change, brought to you by the Spinoff Podcast Network in partnership with KiwiBet.
Are you curious about how business can be better? I'm Simon Pound, and I host Business is Boring, a podcast where I kōrero with some of the most interesting people in entrepreneurship, commerce, and making things happen. Tune in to Business is Boring every Tuesday, brought to you by the Spinoff Podcast Network in partnership with Spark Business Lab.
The Spinoff Podcast Network.